Guys, our next comedian is a former SNL cast member, so please make it nice and loud for Dean Edwards, everybody!
What's up, man? Clap it up, make some noise, make some noise, make some noise, make some, yeah. I like bringing my own party just in case y'all don't have the right energy. Set it off right. You can always use a good blowhorn, you know. Next time y'all making love and you think you just put in some work, just go. She gonna look back. She gonna look at you crazy, but. You ever smash and they turn around and give you a high five? That's a good sign. No. You know, I was watching my man Eagle. He was just on, and what I enjoyed the most in his set was because I was like standing right there in the corner. Is every time he said nigga, but then was referring to white people and watching y'all four, it was. I was like, they're like, wait, what's happening? What bizarre world is this? I was just watching the U.S. Open. I actually went to the U.S. Open 2 nights ago, man. Went to U.S. Open, watched Naomi Osaka, you know, do her thing. And people always sell it. It was like, you gotta go. U.S. Open is amazing. It's exciting. It's part of New York lore. And we went, and we spent a lot of money, you know. You pay a lot of money for the tickets, and then they have like overpriced chicken sandwiches. You're like, why? Why is a fried chicken sandwich $18? But you're like, oh, it's the U.S. Open. All right, cool. We got, you know, enjoying this. He's like, I spent all this money for expensive chicken sandwiches with some caviar on it, and watching people hit a little green ball with a racket, you know, and you're like, I'm living. And then there's a point maybe an hour into it where you're like, yo, I spent a lot of money for a chicken sandwich. I could have got a Chick-fil-A. To watch people hit a little green ball with a tennis racket, and I can't pronounce any of these people's names, you know. I don't know what a Sabalenka is, you know. I think I started watching because of the Williams sisters. That's what black people do. We're not into something until someone sort of breaks the paradigm. We're like, all right, I'm watching, you know. You don't even know. And for years, I would watch Serena and Venus. I didn't know what was happening. I was like, you know, just I liked I liked how they sounded, you know. I did. Getting into it. I'm sitting there. My wife's like, why are you smiling? I'm like, I'm enjoying the game. It's an amazing experience. Watching them play this tennis, you know, it's fun times. I was just overseas. I was in Greece. I just got home from Greece. I was in Athens and Santorini and Mykonos. It's beautiful, beautiful experience. I like traveling, man. I recently went to Iceland. Iceland was dope, man. Iceland. I was in Reykjavik, Iceland, man. Beautiful country, wonderful people. Food is amazing. No black people. No. None. There were none. You know, usually I go someplace and we're sprinkled, you know, throughout. But there were none. By day 3, I was like, oh, this is where they make white people. Evidently, this is the factory. Okay. And suddenly I knew how you all feel when you go to Jamaica and see me. You know. It was nice though. It was nice going over there, man. It was interesting. I found myself even more of a New Yorker over in Iceland, man, because I don't know how many y'all from New York, but New Yorkers, we are the most arrogant and cocky people on the planet. Make some. Who's any of y'all from New York? Clap it up if you're from New York. Any? Yeah, we're proud. Everywhere we go, we always make sure people. Yo, I'm from New York. Yo, it's New York in the house. Yeah. That's what we do. I don't know where that sound came from, but New Yorkers, we just have a battle cry when we see each other. Yeah, and then you just hear other New Yorkers go, yeah, and it's weird, right? Because we sound goofy. Yeah. You know. But we're cocky. New Yorkers are so cocky, we don't even count the rest of the state as being New York. You know what I mean? Like, we count New York City, we count the boroughs. We like Brooklyn, Queens, the Bronx, Manhattan, and then we throw Staten Island in there only because of Wu-Tang. Before Wu-Tang, we ain't give a damn about no Staten Island. Nobody in here knew what Staten Island was, where it was. Like, there's an island of Staten? And they catch a ferry? Why would anyone go to the Staten Island? But if you live past the Bronx, if you live like upstate, we like, man, you may as well say you live in Canada. That don't count. That's a whole nother country up there past the Bronx, man. Because while I was in Iceland, we were at this bar, you know, Kingpin, the movie. They have this bar based on Kingpin. We were hanging out, me and a couple of my buddies, and this dude overheard us talk. He was like, yo, where you guys from? I said, I'm from New York. He was like, dude, that's crazy. I'm from New York. I said, word? He was like, yeah, what part? I said, well, I'm from the Bronx, but I live in Brooklyn for a long time. He's like, word? I said, yeah, what about you? New York every day, all day, baby. I said, no, what part? He was like, Poughkeepsie. I said, no, son. No. You may as well say you live in Montreal, you know. They speak French up there in Poughkeepsie. I hope nobody in here is from Poughkeepsie. I didn't mean to offend the 914. And it's, you know what? As a New Yorker, what I find most interesting is New Yorkers aren't impressed by anything. You know, like you go anywhere else, if like in these comedy clubs, you know, like I think last month, my man Billy Burr was, Bill Burr to y'all, but I've known him a long time, so he's still Billy. I refuse to let him mature, you know. And so Burr was hanging out. He was coming through here, you know. And I remember like watching as people left. He was walking out, and people that weren't from New York, they were, oh my gosh, that's Bill Burr. That's amazing. He was like, hey, what's up? How you guys doing? You good? You know. And then the New Yorker was like, you all right? And I was like, damn, dog. He's like, really? You know, is that necessary? You know. But that's how we are. You know, and I think that's part of our defense mechanism as New York. New Yorkers never want you to think that we're sweating you. That so we try to like downgrade whatever you do. You know, if like you could be the big. If Taylor Swift or Beyonce walk through here, everyone else, oh my gosh, the Beehive, I'm part of the Beehive. Yes. New Yorkers be like, I mean, she alright. You know, I know shorties around the way that look better. You know. Trying to impress me, but I ain't really impressed, whatever. You know, whatever. Shoot, you bootylicious, but I know a shorty named Laquita, she bootylicious her, you know. And I find myself challenged, like I try to take myself out of that space, man, because like just enjoy things and enjoy people for who they are. I was in Iceland, I had that dichotomy affected me, man. On the one hand, I was like, yo, this place is amazing, man. Look at these snow-capped mountains. It's beautiful scenery. It's the freshest air I've ever smelled. This food is delicious. It's not filled with preservatives. It tastes fresh. These people are friendly, and then on the flip side, I was like, yo, we could probably take over this whole country right now, son. They soft over here. I bet you I knock anybody out and ask me the wrong question around here, son. And that's a problem. That's problematic, man, you know. When I got back home, I was in the barbershop because that's where the barbershop is the one place, or barbershop beauty salon, it's the one place that anybody in here, you can go and you can feel at home, you feel comfortable, talk. You share secrets that you may not even share with your priest if you go to confession, you know, but you'll talk in the barbershop. And so I was just talking to the fellas, I was like, yo, I said, why do we think New York is so amazing? You know, I really was curious. I was like, yo, somebody in here right now, why do we think New York is amazing? One dude's like, yo, you know why? Because it is. I said, yeah, but you got to elaborate, expound on your idea, dog. And one dude went with the food. He was like, yo, because honestly, man, I could get a slice of pizza at 2 o'clock in the morning. And everyone was like, yeah, that's right, yeah. And they started running with the food. Yo, I get Chinese takeout at 3 a.m. I get pepperoni slice at 2:30 in the morning. I get street meat at 4 a.m. I was like, you're not supposed to eat like this at this hour, fellas. This is not healthy. Gotta make better decisions. Cholesterol's gonna shoot up. Lower your LDLs. No. And we think it's great, but New York has its issues. Like I said, Iceland probably the clearest air between Iceland and Alaska, the freshest air I have ever inhaled, have ever breathed in. You get back to New York, it's like, why does everything smell like piss out here, dog? Everything smells like piss. When y'all were walking up the block to come to this club, you were like, it's a wee bit pissy out here. And the sad part is not just one flavor, like 3 different flavors of piss in one location. Like, why do I smell this homeless dude, this drunk woman, and who brought a cat on the F train? I can't breathe in this air. It's affecting my... Worst thing in New York is summertime when people there's nothing worse than walking down the block and you have like water from an air conditioner drip on you. Oh, that's like, that make you think you in the movie Aliens, like acid blood, just hot, just you can't move. You're like, it just landed on my lip. You have a great laugh. That was a sinister laugh. I like it. In a weird mood. I'm about to go watch some more tennis in the back of the room. Oh, man. What have we learned tonight? We've learned that if you're not from New York, or if you're from New York, don't go to Staten Island, right? We've learned that if you feel something moist land on your face, hopefully it's an air conditioner. Hopefully. You don't want to think about any other things. Just say it's there. And number 3, and that's the main thing, next time everybody in here, next time you make love and you reach climax, don't yell out, I'm coming. No, yell out, yeah, y'all been cool, man. I'm James. Peace.
Keep it going for Dean Edwards, everybody! Ladies and